Welcome back, everyone, to the Stay Introverted podcast. I am your co-host, Jay Coleman.
And I'm your other co-host, Steph.
And as always, we just want to start off by saying thank you for being a great listener, joining us on this podcasting journey, whether it's your first episode or your 30th. We've done about 30, right? I think we've done 30.
A little bit more than that, actually. I think I just scheduled episode 32 today.
32. Cranking them out. Love it. Who would have thought? Two introverts knocking out 30 podcast episodes.
Crazy, right?
Hours and hours of talking. It's possible. Believe it.
Yeah, it is possible. Well, I mean, I always knew I didn't shut up, but like, it's nice to know that I'm not the only introvert that doesn't shut the fuck up. That was the record for the F-bomb, how fast we dropped an F-bomb. But I guess we should stop talking about ourselves and we should introduce our guest.
Yes, everyone. We are joined today by our good friend, Mr. Micah Livingston. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, guys. How's everything? Thanks for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity. And I look forward to having some fun today.
Yeah, we're going to have a good time. And fun fact about Micah is we actually met him in person. So, that was, I can't believe that was already 4 months ago. Like, what is time?
Yeah, it's like what, January, I think?
Yeah,
end of January.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the three of us met at we call it kind of podcasting / work, co-worker event, in Manhattan. Everyone had a blast, made some dope connections, including Micah here, so we definitely wanted to have him on the podcast. But it was definitely a dope time. It was kind of not rough for me, but anytime you're kind of out of your element as an introvert, it can be challenging. But but I think we all kind of powered through, and it was a good event. I had fun.
Yeah, it was a good time.
No, it was a great time. I think when I first came in, I met Jay, and I was like, "Hey, what do we do?" He was like, "I don't know." So then, I just went straight to the back and hid from everybody for a little bit and just trying to figure out, like, what the fuck am I doing here? Like, But then after a while, everyone kind of warmed up after the icebreaker, and it just made sense after that. So
it was crazy though. I liked it.
Yeah, it was. Like I still
were you guys like in the back?
Yeah.
Oh, the room in the back, yeah.
Yeah, you go through the little pink phone booth. It was awesome.
It was like a time traveling like portal. Like one side of it was like, very colorful and very storefront like, and then the other side was just like, oh, it was like a little ambiance away from the city. So yeah, it was a good vibe out there.
Had a little skylight at the top. I had a bar on the left. I was like, anything you need was back there.
It's like a boom boom room.
Yeah.
Hey, that's exactly what I was thinking. Boom 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 room, and of course you had to go through a secret entrance to get there. It was awesome.
Good stuff.
But,
oh man.
Well, I'm never reminiscing. Mike, why don't you tell the folks a little bit about yourself?
All right. So my name is Mic Liv, or Micah Livingston. I use Mic Liv for short. Let's see. I'm a musician. I make rap music. I write, record. I make my own beats, and for the most part, I'm just trying to get reacquainted with it. Like, I stopped for a little bit to like take care of my family. Then recently, my lady passed away, and when she passed away, it kind of put me back in a quiet space. So thank you. So after it put me in a quiet space, I just said, you know what? Let me take all that energy and like put it back where it used to be. So right now, like for the past time when I first met you guys, everything just happened. It was so fresh. So now, like right now, I'm like more confident too. I'm starting to visit shows, support other people. That's why before when you guys like sent the interview request, you guys were like, "Hey, do you want to come in like April?" I was like, "Too soon. I'm not ready yet." Yeah. So now, I'm a little bit more acquainted with what I'm doing and just working on different projects. So basically, I'm a musician, regular job by day, and that's it about me. Not too much.
I love that, and I'm first of all, I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
That must have been tough. But second of all, I just want to say I love that you took the time to like give yourself the space to grieve and and just get re-involved in what you were doing, because I
Hmm.
think a lot of the time we live in this like hustle culture and people don't give themselves time.
No, we just
So
jump
I
right
love
back
that you
into
took it.
things.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yes.
So
So to jump back into it was like very hard because it's like I lost my voice. You know what I mean? Like before, when I did music, it was always like a very like not aggressive, but just like a direct flow or direct meaning. Now my music became a little bit sad and a little bit depressing, and it was like, you don't make happy music no more. And it's like I do make happy music, but I'm just going through a period. But by letting all that out, it's almost like how Mary J. Blige used to do in her songs, just let everything out. Keisha Cole, so it was just that type of influence that I had with rap that allowed me to get back into it. Like, just let the pain out, just purge it. So it's been helping a lot.
I
Well,
love that.
yeah, it's definitely. I mean, obviously not a great situation, but I think it's awesome that you have that outlet to be able to get your feelings out and to kind of use it as a way to grieve. Steph brings up an excellent point. We don't always give ourselves time to make the time to actually work through the process, and it takes as long as it takes.
Yeah, definitely. And I had some friends that try to rush me back into like, hey, you gotta get over it. Like I have a friend who's Muslim and he tells me, Muslim faith, and I don't want to talk about it too much, but just as an example, like they go through it very quickly. So it's like culturally, they're telling me how to handle it, but for my culture, it's a little bit better for me. So, and it's all out of respect, it's just advice. And sometimes I do kind of take that into consideration too, because that person that passed away wouldn't want you to sit there and continue to grieve over them. And then throughout the course of time, even after I met you guys, it was only 3 people that passed. I've lost 6 more people along the way.
Mm.
So 6 more people died along the way. So I had like friends that passed, long lost friends that passed, people's sisters. It was just so many people that left. So it just lowered my mood even further, kind of put me
Yeah.
back into that hole. But, again, I thought about, would those people want me to still sit there and do nothing about it? No, move forward. So I've been taking that fuel and just making them proud. So
Well,
that's the best thing to do.
shout out to you for like I said, trying to move forward. That's all we can do.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I do have a
Oh,
go ahead, Steph.
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go
Appreciate
ahead. I'm in polite mode today.
appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Take the win, okay? Because normally I just talk right over you.
Appreciate it. So, how long have you been making music?
I've been making music for like 24 years, to be honest.
Nice.
Like, I love hip hop from when I was 6 years old. I've always listened. Like, I grew up in a Caribbean home, so my mother's Jamaican and my father was Trinidadian. So, like, with those kind of cultures coming in together, you have a little bit of soca where you're dancing. You have like the reggae with the different bass lines, the drums, and then now me growing here in American culture, it just like comes together of like, making music and just loving it. And then, growing up in Brooklyn, Flatbush, it was just like the cars that would drive by, how much, songs they would play out for the day, people parked up, the block parties, the different environments. You go to school, you hear about the songs, so that's how I got into music. So my mom bought a piano for me, and then I tried to play the piano. I didn't like it at first. I thought it was boring. And then when I turned 12, my mom got me back into piano lessons, and then, I was learning a couple notes, but then it got boring again too because I was like, why am I not enjoying piano when I love music? And the thing was, I wasn't creating my own music. So that's when I realized, okay, playing other people's pieces is wonderful, but in me, I want to create my own. So then that's when I started like, writing songs. My grandfather passed away in 2000 and he used to write poetry. So then like I kind of like got inspired when he wrote a poem called The Mum. I don't remember it, shame on me. But that's what made me realize, what, it's in my family to do this. Let me do it as well. I also have an Uncle Rudy on my Trinidadian side of the family, which is my father's. He plays as a jazz musician overseas. So it's like if all this music is around me, this means I must do it. So I just feel ordained and responsible to get into music. So that's how I really got into music.
Nice.
How cool! Wow. Did you ever? This is just totally random. I don't know how any of I'm a music appreciator, but you don't want to hear me sing. I am tone deaf as they get.
You might put some auto tune on it.
I don't think autotune can save me. Seriously.
Oh man.
It can't even save some artists, so it's not saving me. But it's okay.
That's honest. That's true.
So my question for you is, have you ever thought about like taking your grandfather's poems and like turning them into lyrics, or have you tried that?
I mean, I would, but I just don't have the copy of all the stuff that he's written.
Yeah.
So they only found one of his pieces. So the one piece that he had, it was like faded. It was like old, so I wasn't able to like do that.
Right.
But just the inspiration alone, just honoring him, it's
that's
just like one of the
amazing.
best ways to do it. But if I do have the pieces, I definitely would. But I have to probably ask my aunts if they have anything on the low. Family keeps things
so cool.
quietly.
Nice.
Absolutely.
So I'm curious. So you mentioned that you grew up in a Caribbean household, and you had the both Jamaican and Trinidadian influences. But as far as hip hop, who are your influences on a hip hop level?
It goes deep. So I listen to hip hop usually like from radio edits because your mom wasn't letting you hear all the cursing and everything else.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
it goes back to like the Wu-Tang era, with hearing how 9 different styles, goes well on the beat. The Jay-Z, the Nas's, the Big Daddy Kane's, just the way how Big Daddy Kane flowed. Nas, when he writes his songs and how poetic it sounds, this goes back to my grandfather, so that's how that connects. And then Nas and I are both Virgos, so the way we want perfection when we write, it just resonates with me. More influence too, like Beanie Man, the way how lyrical he is with his reggae songs. Vibes Cartel, if you want to get deeper in that. Even for R&B, Mary J. Blige, where she expresses her pain. So there's a lot of different influences, but the main ones are really like the boom bap era. Anything from the golden era, even Fabulous. Fabulous was a big influence for me when he did the mixtape era back in 2001. And he was just going on there like doing freestyles, going on Rap City, and just keeping it clean and just playful. So there's a lot of influence there, but the main influence is people from New York. And if I even want to leave New York for a little bit, I would even say Lil Wayne. How he's been doing it from when he was like 16 years old and still rocking to this day. Or if you even go to Snoop, like how laid back his flow is. Ice Cube, how he's able to ghostwrite for even Eazy-E and Dr. Dre and make it sound like it's theirs, but it's really from him. It's just so much. I can even go deeper to even the Game, 50 Cent, when he took over the mixtape era. Like, it's so many different influences. So, like, when you do hear my music, you do hear a little bit of everything. And you could definitely tell I'm from Brooklyn the way I project my music. So
That's awesome.
It's really a little bit of everyone, but the main ones would be like a Jay-Z, Nas, and Biggie. Those are like the top 3.
Makes perfect sense. You mentioned.
I love the history. I love the history.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hip hop definitely has a rich history. I definitely remember growing up listening to it. Like you said, the no cuss version. As we, because I had a mama who didn't play about that. So
no.
Everything was that clean version. BET Video Soul. Shout out to y'all.
Oh yes.
But speaking of incorporating playful elements into your music, what are your thoughts on the current situation going on in music right now, Mr. B?
How did I know this was coming?
To be honest, like the current era is great, but they just need guidance. I felt like they just took some things out of context. Like they feel like because I'm a drill rapper, I have to write violent music. I think like people just need to find what they really know. Some of these guys are probably too young and haven't lived enough experience. And I think me personally, that was some of my problem when I was doing music in the beginning. Like if you heard my music, people was like, "Oh my God, you're so aggressive and ignorant." And it's like, well, I'm just going off what I saw in my neighborhood or what I see. Now that I'm much older and more seasoned in life, it's like I could write about certain things. I could write about more relatable activities. So I think the young music is great. The energy is wonderful. The culture is moving forward. But I just think that the content of what they're writing about and what they're living is not adding up. And then, all these different ghostwriters. So a lot of the songs sound the same. It's not a good state right now. It doesn't feel original. It doesn't feel like it's coming from that person. It just feels like kind of puppeteered. So that's what makes it hard to listen to sometimes.
Okay. Are there any artists, I guess, in today's era that you actually do kind of enjoy, or is it all, or they all just is lost?
Yeah. No, it's not all lost.
Okay.
I like Lola Brooke. She reminds me of Foxy Brown when she first came out back in the day. I really do enjoy Gunna. My son and I listened to this album yesterday on the way to a baseball game, and we really enjoyed that album. I did like what was it, the Migos? I
Mm-hmm.
did like Migos back in the day until now they had their little conflict, so kind of the chemistry was gone. But when the chemistry was together, they remind me like no disrespect to the Locks, but almost like a modern day Locks. How it was just the three of them. They showed loyalty, they showed growth and everything together. So there's a couple of new artists now today I listen to. Even Lil Baby, I like Lil Baby, even though he's kind of not putting out the same content as before. But there's a few artists that's out there, but there's really not much that's hitting to make me stick. But I love J. Cole. I feel like J. Cole would have been in the same era as me. Kendrick Lamar, even though they're having beef with Drake, I did like Drake when he did the comeback season mixtape. All those things was great. But as far as like today's music, it's a little too algorithmy. So that's what makes it like not authentic. It feels like AI is actually doing the work already.
I could see that.
That's an interesting way to put it. Yeah.
Because it's like we're gonna go by what sells, or we're gonna go by what's the best TikTok song, or what's this, but no one's like really bringing the nostalgia, the feeling. The feeling is gone. It's like a rock just went on stage and did a song and left. There's no feeling out of that rock. So
That's a really interesting point. Like how you can. Like, I don't really know much about the hip hop game or really music game in general, but
mhm.
I know what you mean when you say that. Like you can tell when the content is just not heartfelt and it's not. It doesn't feel genuine. It feels like it was spit out like by a robot or some computer that understood what was going to sell. And that is
Exactly.
sad. I
Yeah.
mean, music is about soul, and as far as I know, AI doesn't have a soul. So,
No. I feel like no matter
at
what
least for
genre you
now.
listen to, you're always gonna want to feel something. Like there's times I
Yeah.
listen to Katy Perry's on Fireworks. When that song came out, I felt it. Like when you go to the bar, fireworks. So you just like, you kind of like just let yourself a little free and you're doing things. Or like, when you listen to uh, um, Move Like Jagger, who, Maroon 5. We just like
Mhm.
Maroon 5 songs, or Young the Giant, like Cough Syrup. Those songs move me because it's like all apartment. Life's
Mhm.
not fair, nothing. That one. So,
Right.
you felt that pain with those songs, or you felt like what he was going through. But, music is a universal language. It doesn't matter what we speak or what creed we come from, where we're from. Like, if you hear a song, you're gonna enjoy it.
Yeah.
But now when you hear it from the hip hop realm, it's cool for a little bit, but it's only a trend. It's nothing that's gonna last forever. Like, I know, like, what was the best song last year? None of us could agree on it. We're all gonna have different opinions on what was the best song last year. But if you go back to like maybe 2001, you'll say, "Oh yeah, Jay Z H to the Izzo," or DMX this song, or you might say even Neptunes, like even Nerd. The Nerd album was really dope back in the day. The Gorillas. If you want to like touch out of the spectrum a little bit of hip hop, those are the songs and albums that you felt. But now it's kind of hard to feel anything because I guess everyone's kind of numb based on
Mhm.
I don't know, but it's not the same anymore. And I
Mhm.
hope to do something to bring it back.
Well, awesome. We'll definitely be rooting for you. But both of you are so correct. I used to listen to the radio like all day, and like now it's just hard to listen to it because
It is.
just to Steph's point, everything just seems very formulaic and just it all just sounds the same. And I'm big on I like beats, but as I've gotten older, I've learned to appreciate content and lyrics, and just like for
Mm-hmm.
me, the content just isn't there. It's like and it for me, it's not just hip hop. It's definitely most music, but in hip hop in particular, I kind of notice where there seems to be this change from talking about or rapping about selling drugs, which again is not positive, but we kind of gone from selling them to actually like using them and getting high off of them. And
Yeah.
what was it not the great Biggie Smalls that said never get high on your own supply? And it's just like they did
Mm-hmm.
hip hop not listen at all. So it's just it makes it very hard to be a hip hop fan for me in general. So I'm glad that I did definitely have other genres that I can kind of vibe out to, R&B, house. It's just like,
Definitely.
it's
Definitely. Like,
it's
what
hard.
are the other choices?
Yeah, it's hard, because I grew up in the '90s where hip hop was created more in the '70s, but '80s to early '90s is really when I think hip hop kind of grew up and became more,
hmm
maybe not mainstream, but it started out, it expanded from the house parties, and it went to the West Coast, and it went down south, and it went to the Midwest,
hmm
and you had Ludacris, and you had NWA, and each region talked about something different, but it became global, and now it's like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? I don't.
I almost wonder.
It's like, I don't.
I almost wonder, like, cause like I'm like a total, like, I live under a rock when it comes to like the hip hop stuff. Like I can tell a good song. I can hear a
hmm
good song, but like I don't know like the ins and outs and the nuances. But I thought it was interesting how you pointed out that a lot of hip hop was influenced by the region that the artist grew up in,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
now that it's global, it's like diluted the meaning of it, and it's like it's I almost feel like now that it's like on an international stage, it almost takes away from the essence of what makes hip hop so like just such a uniquely awesome genre.
I
hmm
agree with that to a point, and I think yeah, I think because it has become so global, anyone with a phone or in a basic beat machine thinks they can rap, and it's like,
Yeah, it's
but
like microwave music.
yeah, it's not that. It's not that at all. But I don't know if it's the globalization or the commercialization of hip hop that's kind of the culture.
I think it's definitely the commercialization because, like, I met an artist online recently. His name is Vez, and like we have the same ideologies of how we rap. Like even those different styles, different flows, different upbringings, even different backgrounds. Like he has no Caribbean in his soul. I think he's like Puerto Rican and black. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So a little bit of that, but it's not like the do 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 do. It's different. So and to have the same ideologies and grow up in different timelines, and also I'm an '80s baby. He's a '90s baby. So it's like we know that there's something missing in this music because we listen to the same type of music. We like the same type of artists. We have almost similar influences. He's even deeper than in the hip hop than I am. Like he has videos out there. He's been going to shows. I've been supporting his shows. And Vaz is just one of those artists that's like, he's just amazing. Like he just speaks from his soul. He knows what people want to hear, and he'll come to me like, Mike, what do you think about this song, or what do you think about this idea? And he second guesses himself, and I'm like, stop living in your head, bro. Go out there and do it. Like, be out there because when I record his stuff on my iPhone, like when he's on stage, just to like kind of silence his doubts, I always film the audience. And when you see the audience, they're like so engaged with it, and everything is there. So that's good homework for when he goes back and watches the film to not only improve on the stage presence. Like if his logo is here, make sure his microphone's not covering the logo. Little things like that we get to
Right.
critique. So now people get to see his logo, and he gets to see how engaging it is. So now when he goes to these different venues, he knows like which song works for what venue. And here's a trick. All of his songs work for all the venues.
Nice.
You understand? So now, we just need more engagement like that. And I think what's making the disconnect with hip hop is that people just forget that hip hop started off as a story. It started off as a story of who you are, not who you're not. You ever hear like some rich people, or not even rich people, like just people that didn't have to struggle as much. You know what I mean? Like I come from a little bit of struggle, but I know people that like really struggled. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I will never rap about their real struggles. I will never rap about guns, drugs, or things like that because I never did those things. However,
Right.
if they did those things, I will more relate to their story more because I know it's a real story. With me now, like what I rap about these days is like my family. I rap about God. I rap about, being clean with people. Certain things that I rap about because I know that belongs to me. Going to work. I wrote a song about quitting my job when I was younger. You know what I mean? Like I hate my job, quit my job, I quit my job. But it's like you have to write about relatable things. So I think that's
Yeah.
where the disconnect is with hip hop nowadays, that people are not connecting with the audience. And I feel like when people do shows, they should look at the reactions of the audience versus just looking at how much money you made, how much numbers you moved, how many followers you have. I think we just got so distracted with the algorithm and the data. versus just
Right.
who did you connect with.
So what you're
And that's where we lose
so
it.
what you're
Right.
saying is that you
And
shouldn't be talking rapping about moving drugs and stuff if you were actually a correctional officer in Miami.
Nah. Not at all, sir.
Shout out Rose.
Not at
Shout out
all,
Rose.
sir.
But
Oh man,
right.
and I respect his business hustle for it too, but
but
it's not authentic because you bring problems with you now. Now people's gonna test you. You're gonna bring sharks
Right.
to the water unnecessarily. So I always say, like in
Right.
music, be authentic, be real, and just if it sounds terrible to them, there's an audience out there that's gonna sound great too. Not everything is for everybody.
Exactly.
yeah, Steph.
I love that. And I love I think it's so important to really focus on that for a second about how you can't tell somebody else's story. Like our
Hmm.
stories are already pretty fucking crazy as it is. Like why are you gonna pick on somebody else's? Like
Yeah,
I
that's
guarantee if
double-headed.
you look at your own life, it's already jam packed with stories that you can tell.
Hmm.
And I think that people get so caught up in oh, what's gonna make me sound dramatic or what's gonna make my lyrics really pop. Let me just tell this wild story that didn't happen. And it's okay,
Hmm.
maybe that works for somebody else, but unless you lived it, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, you're absolutely
Exactly.
right. Like,
We should get a shirt that says that.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
Oh yeah. For
you're
real.
absolutely right, Steph.
That'd be a nice
Like
shirt.
it's like you have people talking about, yeah, I did this, I talking about life in the hood. I'm like, brother, you from the suburbs, like nothing but green trees and white fences. Like what the hood were you from, sir? Like what set
Yeah.
are you repping? Like the Boy Scout troop? No, it's not.
Right.
No,
Like, this is not for
it's
you,
not for
sir.
you. And the thing is, people can tell. Like even though it's the music is like
Hmm.
word, like people can tell. Like that's not. You can Google anybody these days and figure out. Oh, you you're from Oakland, but you're from like Oakland, Wisconsin. Like
Yeah.
not the same. It's not the same.
That's so
Like
funny.
Or,
Manhattan, Kentucky is not the same as Manhattan, New York. It's not.
this Manhattan, Kentucky?
Oh, I've heard of that. I've seen that
It's
before.
not
Oh
That's so
at
man.
funny.
all.
Or Brooklyn, Portland.
Okay.
I Googled
Yeah,
Brooklyn. I was like, there's a Portland in Brooklyn? I was like, I might move there and still rep Brooklyn. It'll be official. I have two parts of Brooklyn. But,
that's
um,
so funny.
no, people should, like, some people say they're from the Bay Area and then be like in a different part of the Bay. Or, they went to the Bay just to go food shopping.
People say they say they're
Yeah,
from
just because you can drive there to food shop doesn't mean you're from
people
there.
say they're
Calm
the
Exactly.
down.
Bay
Like,
Area
no,
and they from like Sacramento, like 2 hours away from the Bay Area. Like that's
yeah,
not the same, sir.
it's
If
not
you
the
gotta
That's
same.
drive
so funny.
through the foothills to get to where you are, you are not from the Bay at all.
That's so funny.
You know what?
I
You gotta ask them
actually,
what school they went to. That's how you find out where they really
oh, that's smart.
from. What school
I
did you go to?
actually, there was a kid in my high school, who, so like me, he was a Jewish kid. I was at his bar mitzvah.
Hmm.
And he decided in college that he was going to be a rapper. Good for him. Love that for him. Yeah. Um, he now has a mohawk. He talks I don't know where this weird voice came from. He's got grills. He looks ridiculous. He's in and out of jail for petty dumb shit. And now he's a rapper, but he keeps getting his cars repossessed for driving shit out into it's I'm like, bro, you're making up this persona and you're
Mhm.
ruining your life for a rap career that's never gonna
Yeah.
happen. I don't know who needs to tell
Is he
you this.
actually good though? Is his pen game nice?
No,
No.
Or
no,
oh,
his music sucks.
So
Jesus Christ.
it sounds like he likes the image or what he thinks a rapper is in that lifestyle. And
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's so
that's
weird, and
uncool,
it's not
man.
his story. I was at his bar
yeah,
mitzvah. Trust
You
me.
should, you should do a diss song about him. Like, I was at your bar mitzvah. That'd be the first line.
That would
And
be
then
so
have
funny.
an ether type vibe, like, never
oh,
mind.
start in
But it's
trouble.
I don't want to make it I mean I have another friend that I grew up with in high school that the same kind of kid, but he's been living like a normal life, like he has a 9 to 5 job. He never tried to like change his personality or his character or his trajectory. He just likes to make hip hop music, and he's good. And he never changed his story, and he's actually
It's
getting gigs.
authentic. It's authentic. That's why.
Yeah.
Like if you're
So
not, again, it goes back to like if it's not for you, stay out the way.
yeah,
You know.
exactly.
Yeah, you were so correct, Steph. I mean, it's like yeah. I mean, I like it when you have people from different cultures and races and backgrounds that wade into not just hip hop, but music in general. But definitely with hip hop, and you know, when you're being authentic, it helps because now you're infusing part of yourself into the music, and you're actually showing the audience a different, hip hop from a different world view.
Exactly.
It's like, yeah, maybe the white kid in the suburbs doesn't have to deal with drugs, but there might be some other drama that he has that we just don't see. Just as serious, or someone,
exactly.
I got my bike stolen.
it happens.
Something.
Like it happened on my midterm. So the boy the Boy Scouts sold more cookies than out there. I don't know, whatever. But like,
Right.
But that's kind of what we want to hear. Like, we want to hear your story. Like, there's so many rappers from Great Britain that I love, rappers from the ages that I love, and they're telling their story. They're not trying to be anybody else but them, and they're just infusing their story into hip hop. I mean, like Steph hit it on the head. Like that's what people relate to. And you can't relate. You can't relate to a story that's not yours. That's not yours.
No, definitely not.
You have to be you at all times.
Right.
But what about the rappers that get called out for like they say they really did what they did, but then they get called out? Like, do you think those rappers handle that situation well when they still continue to just dive further than what they used to do?
No.
You know what I mean? Like for an example, no.
No. But a big short answer is no. But I mean, a lot. Unfortunately, a lot of what fuels hip hop is ego. It's like and just never backing down. Like I'm talking more about men, but machismo and being what you think a man is, and just never admitting when you're wrong, even in the face of all this evidence showing that you're wrong. So you just double and triple and quadruple down, and it's like, dude, we can see you. Like, so no, I don't think it gets. I don't think they handle it well. At the same time, I don't know if we, the audience, the labels, whoever, create the space for somebody to be like, okay, you know what, I was wrong. Like the closest we've seen was probably J. Cole when he was like, you know what, I'm out. I'm sorry, I'm out.
Exactly.
I'm like,
I apologize. Good luck.
Y'all be cool. And
I love that.
He's living a life, but like that's like the only example I can think of that someone was like, you know what, I was wrong. Y'all got it. Everyone else just like, let me go and write this track, and it's just track. It's trash.
Yeah, and unnecessary. But you know what? I think when J. Cole did that, he kind of like I had a debate with a friend, and she was like, the J. Cole and Drake beef is healthy. I said, first off, to me, it's not entertaining. Because you have like a lot of like the songs were just like this songs is not how they used to be. They're not disrespectful. They're a little too nice. Sometimes they're a little below the belt. They say things that we have to go Google to figure it out. Like, whatever happened to being direct? Like, where it was like, you was a ballerina, I got your picture, I seen you. And it's like, oh, and then the picture's right there.
No subliminals.
Jay-Z came on Summer Jam and had the picture there. Like, the proof
he
is
got
right
tired
there
of getting sued.
Oh, lyrics? Oh, I can't say the lyrics?
Go ahead.
Oh, no. You can say. I'm saying that guy, he, like J. Cole or whoever you're talking about, probably got sick of getting sued. You can say whatever lyrics you want. Just don't get us sued.
Okay. I thought I was going to get sued next. Like, no.
No, you're fine.
I am a poor musician, I don't need to be sued. No, but, it's not as entertaining or people going direct or like no Vaseline. You remember how disrespectful Ice Cube was with no Vaseline? I don't remember the lyrics, shame on me, but it was disrespectful. And matter of fact, I couldn't really remember lyrics. I got a whooping
We
for
don't we
remembering
don't
those
need
lyrics
we don't
back in
need
the
to get into
80s.
lyrics here. Press we don't Bruce.
Yeah, but it was disrespectful, or like even little things like album covers where Kool Moe Dee parked on LL Cool J's Kango. Little things like that, like little things were fun. It was funny, disrespectful. Now the disrespect is talking about people's children. They're talking about
Oh, yeah. We don't come for people's
yeah.
kids. Oh,
Even
no.
what was it recently? I think it was Nicki Minaj and Megan Thee Stallion had like a feud a few months back, and they're talking about dead mothers and people's going to grave sites, and it's
Yeah,
too much. It's not. That's where it's
it's
not fun
wild.
anymore.
And
Yeah, and then you got the super fans that like, they're like your street show soldiers that's unpaid.
that
That's like
that's actually a good point because it's not you think back to the East Coast West Coast beef in the '90s, but your dogs are just having a time.
yeah,
they're
they're
going,
going in.
they're having a time.
I'm going to just mute myself because they are out of, I warned you, they're out of
You
control
sure they're not
today. I'm going to mute
bumping
myself.
NWA back
I guess
then?
that means it's a good
Yeah,
vibe.
they survived, but they bumping to something. DMX or something. I don't know. Where my dogs at? Indeed.
They're getting hyped up by all the rap talk. They're having a rap battle themselves.
Yeah.
Who's winning?
But yeah, we had the East Coast West Coast beef in the '90s, but there was no Facebook, no IG. You just had people who followed them and listened to them. Here, it's like anybody you got the Beehive and the Barbs and
man.
the Swifties and whatever sort of clan or not clan but clique you have. And that, to me, that kind of just amps it up because you have people who just go back and forth on social media, but then you inevitably have that small set of people who want to take it offline and actually do some shit. And it's like you said, Micah, it's not fun anymore. It's just disrespectful because it's like at the end of the day, it's music. Like people shouldn't be losing their job. People shouldn't be losing their life. People shouldn't be losing their livelihood over a song. Particularly a song that you didn't even make. Like you have like these kids messing up their future because of some song that Megan Thee Stallion did, and it's like, for what? She wasn't even talking to you. Like what?
Yeah, exactly. They could have just had a private meeting about it and said, "Let me read the lyrics again." You know what? That wasn't me in that line. I made a mistake. I'm sorry, and they could have just moved on with it. But what it is though? The controversy sells. So, and you got to remember too, around that time, Nicki had an album coming out. So, the last album that Queen that she did before this one, that was supposed to be like one of the best albums before she went on maternity leave and had her baby and spent time with her husband. And then what ended up happening? I think it was Travis Scott. He ended up dropping his album around the same time. And then one of the Kardashians that he was with just had a baby. And it was like, oh, my baby Stormy's gonna be there. And there you go, sales right there. So she didn't want to be deprived from that again. But I think if she just stuck to the authenticity of the hip hop, she'd have been good. Just like how J. Cole dropped something, it's really good. People gravitate to it. That's it. But then also too, the way Spotify and all these guys like pay like small artists like myself, it's kind of like interfering with the pot. So before, like, and I'm sorry to switch gears that quickly, but it's really all about the finance part. So it's like now with local artists or small artists that's getting ready to come out, independent artists for better words, we're starting to like make some money off of this now. Like, I don't know if you guys heard about this group. They made an album called Z. I think it's called Sleep, and it's like the first track is Z, then ZZ's track 2, then ZZZZ, and it's a silent album, and they're just playing it, and it's making money. So if you press play, it'll just be like, and they're getting paid for that.
Holy shit, that's awesome.
Check it out after the show. Like, if you guys want to Google it, Z.
That sounds like the perfect thing for an album. Just an album of silence. Like,
yeah,
why did we think of this?
That'd have been, that should be the intro song for this show.
We should have thought of this. Oh man,
we could have made millions by now.
It's alright though.
I mean, you can see if you could collab with them.
Exactly. We did a remix. I like it.
It's never too late. It's never too late.
Yes.
Oh man. But because of things like that, now the monetization is being controlled in a different way. So now it's like if you get certain spins, it's like, well, now you have to have this amount of followers and this. Now the barriers are getting like thicker and thicker, and you're like, oh man, as an independent artist, what do I have to do? So sometimes one person could be here making the production, doing the beats, doing their songs, and getting everything out, and it's easy. You do a couple of shows, you get some streams, you're great. Now it's like, well, here's the requirements for you to even start getting paid. You must have 10,000 followers. You must have 5,000 per day. So as these barriers get tougher and tougher now, now the mainstream artist is like creating that because those mainstream people are losing money. Like most of those artists are making money based on tours. So now the tours are not working, the streams are not working, this is not working. No one's buying merch no more because people's making their own merch. Which I need to get one of those shirts right there. I really like that shirt. You have short sleeve for the summer?
Yes, sir.
Oh, my
Talk to
boy,
your boy.
yes.
Talk to your
Definitely.
boy. I got you. I got you.
All right, appreciate it. So, see, now merch. So now, what do these artists have to do now? They're not selling tickets. They're not selling merch. They got to start beef now. And then now what the beef does, the beef brings people over, listen to it, up the streams. You drop a whole bunch of songs at once, and that's it. So it's really just for promotional base. But then, like, going back to the original topic with the beehive and the fan base driven people, they don't see it that way. They don't see the business view of it. They don't see that this is fun and entertainment. And when that happens now, that's when people get hurt unnecessarily. It's sad, but and even the hurt part even causes more merch too, because now it's like, what did he say to get that person killed? And then the person who didn't know about the beef is gonna go back and listen to it too. So either way, the label wins.
So I
Sad,
got a
but
quick question.
true.
Which fan base
Hmm.
do you think is the most unhinged out here?
I think
Beehive?
the Beehive. Yeah, I think the Beehive.
What's the
That's
beehive? Who's
Beyonce's
that?
fans.
Beyonce.
Oh, so not the Swifties?
I don't.
Well, that's
What
not
is
hip
it?
hop, but they're
Yeah,
pretty
I don't think
fucking
it doesn't
unhinged.
have to be hip hop, but just um, I,
I think just in general, they're just the
yeah,
most like.
I would. I'm inclined to agree because I don't see any fan base like galvanized and mobilized around their artists like the Beehive. You
Hmm.
say anything even remotely negative about Beyonce, they coming for you. The
Yeah,
Swifties,
they found your
oh my god,
address. They found your school records.
they,
That's
yo,
insane.
I
Oh
don't know about the
man.
Swifties. I like again. I've been on record as to how I feel about Taylor Swift, but I tend to think that the Swifties just never got past high school. And it's like, you know, a bunch of high school kids you can deal with. What are they gonna do? Talk about you? Okay. Um, the
Hmm.
Beehive comes for your head. They
Yeah, the Beehive have action. They get receipts. They'll find out when's the last time you used your Metro card. Like these guys are
and
serious. They
Are
could
they
they could
gonna
have
come
found
for
Bin
us?
Laden back in the day.
Oh my god. Are they gonna come for us
I
after we
mean, I hope
publish
not.
this?
I mean, we'll see again. We're not dissing Beyonce. You know,
No,
No,
it's
we
we
love
out
love
of
Beyonce. We love
respect.
Beyonce
Beyonce.
over here.
I think they're the most
Exactly.
loyal. No,
It's
it's
definitely
respect.
respect.
It's respect. It's the loyalty. Like Beyonce don't need to hire security no more. She just have the Beehive on
Hmm.
stage with her, and that's
And
it.
they remember.
It's security
Yeah.
that actually pays her.
And they remember. They keep receipts. Like they they have
True.
anniversaries of the day they drag somebody over Twitter. Like, hey,
Hmm.
remember this day 2 years ago we dragged this fool? Happy anniversary. Like they do that. They do that. It's crazy. Like
That's
they
wild.
play the long game with the Beehive, man. I don't you don't
They do, and I think it's gonna be generational. I think the Beehive is generational because, like, remember, like our era when Beyonce and them first came out, that was like '97. That was during the Destiny's Child era, and then like '02, that's when they didn't even have a Beehive yet. But then when like Single Ladies came out, and that's when like it really upped. So now those people that's listening to Single Ladies, let's say them 5 year olds that's listening to Single Ladies, right? How old are they now? They're probably like in their 20s, and they're the ones that's at the shows. So it's a generational thing, and most of the time, those 5 year olds are probably were their parents, or some of the older people that are their parents. Because I'm gonna be honest, I'm 40, so you know that I know what era that's in. So I think the Beehive is gonna be a generational thing. Like even long after Beyonce's gone, I think it's gonna still be a trend of people still, and you don't know what Blue Ivy's gonna end up doing in the future or any of the other kids. that's going to keep that going. So she just created a generational fan base, which
I
is
think
beautiful.
she created
That's
a
awesome.
religion. Let's call what it is. Is that we got Christians, we got Jewish, Beyonce. That's your religion. The Church of B.
You know what? I think the world would be a much better place though if religion was based on music. That might be a hot take, but
You're not wrong. You're not.
I agree
wrong.
too.
I don't know.
Yeah.
If we could all just like get together and agree that like, you know, we don't all have to like the same music. We just, you know, you do your thing, I do mine. Everybody just sing and be happy. We could
That's
all
true.
get
I think
along.
so.
And I think later on we'll end up liking each other's music because then, like, I wonder what they like about it so much. Let me go see what's going on over there.
Yes, exactly.
I do it from time to time. Like, it's just like video games. Like, I'll sports game for a little bit, and then when Call of Duty drops, I'll go and do some of that for a little bit. Then let's say God of War comes out, I go over there for a little bit. Gamers don't have that kind of clashing issue. Well, sports games are better. No. What you play? Well,
Right.
actually, no. Let me not lie. The Xbox and PlayStation thing was a problem, and now PC versus console is now a problem. So, you know, but there's always going to be competition. There's always going to be, you know, something to discuss, and I think that's what actually makes it beautiful. Just like how we just had a conversation about, like, you know, I'm speaking from beginners or kind of moderate experience point of view. You know, Jay spoke it from a regional point of view, which is one of the highlights of the conversation. You know, Steph says, I don't know much about hip hop, but hey, you know what? Based on what I'm hearing, if we just like listen to everyone's stuff, we'll be better. If you just have your own lane, that's fine too. So, you know, even though we didn't have the same perspective on it, we left here with something that we could all agree on.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what makes music
the
like
world
awesome.
go round. Yeah.
It does. It does. And that's why I said, like, music is a universal language, you know, like, no matter what language you speak, like, remember the Jay-Z, he did the ah, na, 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 like I forgot what it is. It was like a song that he took from, I think it was from the Bangladesh region. It was like 2002, and they did on the Night Rider beat. Oh, man, that song escapes me right now. And I don't want to Google it, because that would make me, like, terrible at remembering shit. But anyway, there's a song that he took from that region, like a sample, and then that sample now made it very popular in that region. So now when Jay-Z, now when O2 was able to tour in Europe, and that song came on, people now from that region gravitated to that song. It's like, oh, he did this. What else is in his library? So now you just introduce new fans to your stuff, you know. So, you know, just like when Run DMC and remember Walk This Way, Jay? What was the group he did? Aerosmith?
Yeah.
Yes. So that opened now rock and roll and hip hop to kind of marry. You understand what I'm saying? Or even when Beastie Boys started doing certain things, like when we had the white guys come in and hip hop and started doing their thing, it opened the door for later Eminem. You know what I mean? So some of those little seeds that are planted today may not happen and blow up the way we want to. But then later on, you know, you might see like a pattern that says, you know what, this person tried it this way, let me try it another way. And that's how you kind of like flourish into something new. So, you know, just like drill music, it started in the UK. You know, then they went to Chicago, then they went to New York, then they went to different regions of, you know, this is Jersey drill, this drill. A little seed just spread to something different. So, you know, that's the beauty of it. Even though we may not like the growth of it, at least we see that it's growing.
Absolutely. And so I'm not really into hip hop, but I'm more into like, you know, psychedelic rock. I'm literally wearing Pink Floyd right
Shout out Pink Floyd.
But then I also
yes.
But then I also like deep house techno kind of vibes. So what I've noticed is a lot of the times when I'll go to like a deep house show, they'll weave in like random Pink Floyd like samples or like, and there's just a lot of like, it's just, they respect the music so much that like they'll sample bits and pieces from decades and from other genres. I even one time was at a concert, like a techno show in, I want to say Minneapolis or St. Paul. Twin Cities, same thing, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
And they weaved in an entire like throughout the night they were weaving in bits of Prince, and that was the first time I ever heard Prince really.
That's interesting.
So it was like it opened me up to a whole new genre of music that I had never really been into before. So it's I love like the interweaving of different genres.
Yeah.
So.
I could definitely relate because I got into gorillas because of Lupe Fiasco. So Lupe Fiasco would take the instrumentals to like Dirty Harry, and then or everything in that genre, and then just open you up to like listen to that now. It's like, oh, okay, this is cool. Or even sometimes too, like in hip hop, we'll take samples from like back in the day. So like the Isleys, like they'll have like certain samples like For the Love of You, or like Biggie, One More Chance, and you go and you'll read the credits. So I miss the days of the CDs. That's also
Yeah.
kind of like messing with music, period. Like just no matter what genre it is. And you remember you used to go and you buy the CD, you open the booklet, and you're reading the credits and you're reading like who sampled this, who did that, and then your parent would be like, "Oh, this sounds familiar." You go to your mom or your dad, you're like, "Hey, what you have the record?" Or yeah, come, and then you listen to the original, and then now it connects
Right.
to the generational gap. Like even right now, like in drill, they'll take some of the stuff from the '90s and like flip it into today. So, like I said, music is a universal language. You just have to find someone who's willing to marry some of those sounds to introduce new ones, and then you introduce new audiences. So, I definitely relate to what you're saying, Steph.
You bring up a
Definitely.
great point, Steph, because believe it or not, I actually am not that big a fan of hip hop. Really, I'm
Really?
knowledgeable about it. Like
Okay.
I grew up
Mm-hmm.
during '80s and '90s, so I guess old school hip hop. I guess I would say I'm more a fan of. But yeah,
Older, the
like
golden era.
up to about 96, 97, that's probably my cutoff. Like once we started getting into like the Cash Money era, I was like, all right, I'm good. I was like,
He was like, all right,
I was
that's my
like,
exit.
back of that stuff down, I'm good. You can keep that. But it's like anything before, that's me. But I'm not that big a hip hop fan. But the thing I do love
Mm-hmm.
about and what Steph brought up is how, not just hip hop, but so many different genres experiment and mix with other genres. Like I love R&B. I'm a big R&B. I love soul. I love neo soul. I love jazz. That's my shit. Um, is
Jazz
wonderful.
is
So
wonderful.
when it comes to hip hop, my favorite group is a Tribe Called Quest. Because what do? They infuse jazz in like so many of their songs. And then
Mm-hmm.
there's an artist who I love called Eric Roberson, my favorite singer. I've been to his concerts about 5 times, and there's always a part in his concert where he starts singing Big Papa by Biggie, and it works. It works because you have this soul
Mm-hmm.
singer singing Big Papa, and then
I love it when they
yeah,
call me Big Papa.
and then
Like,
at
wow.
for the people who don't know, Big Papa samples the Isley Brothers between the sheets, I think. So he starts singing that while
Mm-hmm.
he's singing Big Papa, and it goes back and forth. So you got the singer who's singing his own music,
Mm-hmm.
and then he's infusing the hip hop and old school R&B, and it's just to me that's what I
Mm-hmm.
love. I love the fusion. I love it when you have hip hop infusing with R&B. You have jazz infusing with the hip hop. R&B infusing with jazz. To me that's awesome. You got rock infusing with hip hop. To me that's when
Mm-hmm.
music is awesome.
No,
Oh,
definitely. And then like you have
absolutely.
Beyonce doing like a
Yeah.
country album now. So
Yeah.
Beyonce doing a country album. K
Well, hold on,
Michelle
hold on. You gotta
also did a
remember,
country album.
it's not a country album. It's a Beyonce album.
It's a Beyonce album. You're right.
Beyonce just
I don't want the
Beyonce
beehive
just
looking for me
does
now.
Beyonce just does country now too.
Yes, she just had another palette to her wonderfulness, which is great.
Love it.
You got to
Come on,
always like
Beyonce. We love
expand.
you.
So yeah, but speaking of jazz though, my mom used to play CD
Woo!
101.9 back in the day. It was a radio station in New York, and like the voicemails when you had the tape decks. So it'll be like what's that the famous jazz musician at the time? He played Silhouette. Um, do you know who I'm talking about? I'm embarrassed not to know his name right now. I'm running on 4 hours of sleep, but still, um, she'll play those in the background, and then it was so soothing to like call someone's home and hear then he's like, I'm not able to get to the phone right now, baby, but when you get this message, so like jazz music was like really wonderful, and even the music, the movie Soul. I don't know if you guys seen that
Mhm.
Disney movie with Pixar. soul, and it just had like the
I
music
think
that was being
got
played.
it.
It's a great movie. It
I'm gonna
also
check it
like
out.
kind of resonate with me too, where it's like you kind of let your life goes ahead first, and then you just
Mhm.
forget about your dreams. So when he died, he realized, oh shoot, I want to really get back into music. I mean, he ended up getting back to his body and doing music, but it just makes you appreciate life. And the way they did it, like in a jazz way, it had soul and like feeling, and it just set the mood. Like you could appreciate it. Like there's some producers out there that don't do well in like hip hop or any other genres, and they end up doing movie scores.
Mm.
They end up doing movie
Interesting.
scores. So like I said, like your Jewish friend that's out there doing terrible music, maybe he could do spoofs. He could do spoofs.
Oh my God. I
Spoofs would
cannot
be
wait to send
nice.
this. I can't wait to send this episode to my friend.
You see, he could do spoofs, and then people will like it, enjoy it. And I think if he approaches it from a comical point of view, not like he's making fun of the genre or anything, but
uh-huh.
just like who was it? Big,
Making fun of himself. Yeah.
yeah, just make fun of himself, and if he doesn't spoofs, then it won't be so. No one will take him seriously, but they'll enjoy it. Like, look at this guy out
Yeah.
here. What do you
You're
What
Oh,
do you
I
think,
love
Jay?
that.
No.
We're giving him a
you
new lease
you
on
you
life. I love
you
it.
you,
Yeah, you know what?
you
We can't
have
write
your
him off yet.
your Jewish friend who makes terrible music. That's just.
I will send you some of his stuff.
Oh my god.
Listen, he'll appreciate it, man. He'll really appreciate the advice. Listen, how many views is he getting? Like 5? I bet you if he starts admitting it's terrible, he'll get 1,000 to
You know
start.
what? I haven't talked to him since his bar mitzvah, so I just
Oh,
follow his
okay.
career.
Oh, so you
Career.
got to inbox him and say, "Look, sir, this is not working. I care about you."
I don't know if I'm the one to deliver this idea, but I will pass it through the grapevine.
Are you close to him like that?
No, I
So it
haven't
makes it
legit.
easier to give him the message.
You think so? I don't
Yeah, if
even
you're
know
not
where he
close to
lives
someone,
these
you could
days.
deliver bad news easier. I think when you're close to them, you're kind of worried about hurting their feelings more. But if you're not,
That's
like I used
true.
to work in the medical field, and when we
Hmm.
had to tell people bad news about their lab results, because we didn't know them, it was easier. Don't get me wrong, we had empathy, and we're supposed to
Hmm.
have empathy, but it made it a little bit easier. But like, let's say for someone that you know, it's like, damn, I don't want to hurt their
Hmm.
feelings. I don't want to break their
That's
heart.
true.
It's a little harder. So I think when you don't know someone, it makes it a little bit easier because it's like, listen, man, I don't know you, but I'm telling you this because I love you.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like telling a stranger to have a booger in their nose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Ooh.
you know what I
I
mean?
like
Like, and
that. Maybe by the end of this year, I will tell him you should do spoofs.
you know what you should do? Tell them, hey, you know what? Your music has a booger in its nose.
Exactly. I love it.
Man.
And we
I love it.
we
I'm gonna
just
do it.
found the title of this episode. This has a booger.
What? Your music
Yes.
has a booger in its nose? I love it. I love when we can figure out the title before we even close out
Oh.
the
Oh
Well, you
man.
know it,
episode.
Steph. Our episodes do double as work sessions, so exactly.
Exactly.
This
Exactly.
it's right here.
Introvert
It's
hack.
it's
Right
not just an
there.
episode; it's a staff meeting.
Make sure your
Exactly,
camera's on
exactly.
for this one,
Well,
please.
speaking of staff, it's going to be a rough segue.
Mhm.
I told you before we got online that I'm looking into adding to my staff of one. But so both of you are the
Okay.
proud parents of furry creatures. I am interested. I'm looking into getting my own furry creature. So I kind of want your opinion on things to I don't know look for in like owning a dog. So I yes I found
Oh God.
Yeah, it's a little. First off, I'm like, are you sure you want a girl? 'Cause I know before earlier you said you
I
wanted to get a
want
lady, and I'm like, I don't know because now if you
mm,
don't spade or neuter them, that time of the month that's really not monthly but very random, it's
Mm,
messy.
it is
So you have to spade
messy.
and neuter them right away, and if you don't do that, you can never like leave them to like what
Wander.
you call
Yeah. No,
yeah
you
like
can't.
you can't walk them during that time. All the dogs will go crazy. So just make sure like the spading
So
and the neutering is
yes,
right away.
I do want
Yeah.
a girl pup. I'm going to call her Sammy. I'm just going to be short for Samantha, and I got
Okay.
Samantha from the dog from I Am Legend. That was Will Smith's dog's name. I like that name. I like
I
that.
love
I like
that.
that
Okay,
name.
okay.
I
That's dope.
agree. She's getting spayed and neutered the second that I own her, because I don't know if either of you watched Sex in the City. Um, I didn't,
No, I
but
missed that one.
unfortunately, I had a friend who that was her favorite show, and I happened to walk in during one particular episode where I guess it was Carrie's
Mm-hmm.
dog. She had a dog, and apparently she was not stayed in neutered, so she went to the park
Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
and got gangbanged by the dogs. So yes, I will.
that'll
Yes,
do
so
it.
Oh
I
man.
will.
You know that she could get pregnant. You could get pregnant. A girl dog can get pregnant from two
Yeah,
different boy dogs, like and
Yeah.
like have like two different dogs growing
hmm
in her body, like that are
yes,
two different breeds.
but
Yeah,
I'm
that's
looking at
Crazy
that's
stuff.
my.
crazy. So do
I
you go
don't.
for
I don't
child
know.
support for that? Is it like pup support for that, or
So
like do you sue the owner,
I
or
Child
don't know.
support.
Like all I was thinking was like, why are you watching this? Like this, if this was humans, we'd be grossed out. But it's dogs, so it's funny. Ha ha, I guess. But yeah, I
Right.
will be getting. Yeah,
That's
it
sad.
is. It's very sad. But moving on from that.
hmm
Yeah,
We're gonna get in trouble. We're talking about dog gangbangs. Oh
I
yeah,
didn't write it. I didn't.
At least we don't approve of
Someone
it.
thought of
yeah.
this, wrote it down, and they went through several layers of approval. So
Yeah.
let's
Yeah, that's true.
keep it a stack. So hey, seriously,
Blame
that's who I
HBO.
blame. But yes, they are
That's
definitely
was
wrong.
rough.
But yeah, I definitely want to get me a little puppy, a cockapoo. I like them. They
Okay.
are.
So
hmm
cute. When are
Well,
you
first
gonna
thing
get
I gotta
her?
ask my landlord, because yeah, so that's gonna
Okay.
be
Oh,
the
okay.
first kind of
I never
yes,
asked. I just got them.
that's for
Yeah,
forgiveness.
same. I just came home.
Yeah, I mean they I was thinking about doing that, but I don't want to take a chance. But him and I are cool, so I'll probably say yes. But definitely want to get me a little puppy.
Okay.
They cockapoos they're very very intelligent, very affectionate, but they can be clingy. So there's that, and they are definitely
Mm.
Mhm.
energetic. So you gotta work them out. But I think yeah, but I
Gotta
think
keep walking them.
that
Yeah.
would help me get out the house more because as an introvert, nothing more I love than staying indoors. So I think yeah, but I think in a way
Right.
that will help me kind
True.
of get out there and just be out there.
Absolutely.
I'm not gonna lie. I have two Yorkies, and even with that, I just put the baby pad down. Like I'm not doing that today. Like I'm not doing.
I
Especially in the wintertime. Like the wintertime, like I have two Yorkies, and they're very bougie. So like
mm.
they're very bougie. Like when it gets too cold, they go, and I'm like,
Oh my
okay,
god,
bear.
mine hate the rain. Hate the
They'll
rain.
push back like this, and it's terrible. So I don't want ASPCA coming to my home thinking I'm abusing them. So I just keep them in
Oh,
the wintertime. But summertime, like now that it's warm, they get their walks, they go outdoors. You know,
right,
just let you know too, grooming is not it's a little expensive sometimes. Like I'll pay no
Mhm.
more than $100 to get them groomed.
right.
But I don't know if cockapoos get tangled a lot
They
though. That's
can.
the only thing I don't
They
know.
don't.
And do
They
they
don't
shed?
Yeah.
shed too tough. They are hypoallergenic. They're not much of
Okay,
shedders, but yeah, their hair can get tangled, so you really got to brush them and groom them pretty regularly. Yeah, but
like
if
daily.
it works out, I
hmm
may get a second. Again, I'm thinking down the line. I really want to
Oh, you're getting
listen.
a second one
This
already
has
before you
been
get
my
the
dream
first.
since 5:30 today. So, but yes, I want to start
Oh
off with a little
man.
puppy, little black cockapoo named Sam. Then maybe let it grow
hmm
up a little bit,
Aw.
get the run the land, then bring in the second one. Gonna be brown cockapoo. It's gonna be a boy.
Mhm.
I'm gonna call him Waffle.
hmm
Oh,
Waffle is
Simple,
okay.
nice for brown.
Interesting.
Okay.
I like it.
Black
I
Sam.
love that.
Hey,
Brown Waffle.
hey. Okay. Hey.
I love
You got
it.
nicknames already.
I will
You
say,
gotta get the little dog tags too.
I will say that if you're looking for the dogs to make you more social, like if that's like one of your intentions behind it, that will absolutely happen. And then when you get a second dog, you start to become slightly psychotic in that your friend group starts
Oh
to
my
revolve
goodness.
around your dog, and that's when you know when I hop off here, I'm about to take my two to a birthday party for one of their Frenchy friends. Okay, this is what my life has become.
Yeah, when you become a dog parent, it's different. Like,
Yeah.
you go on dog play dates that I don't show up to
Yeah,
because I'm.
I do. I'm the one organizing them.
Yeah, like my friend the other day, she was like, "Hey, they're having a spring thing coming. You want to go?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. Let me know." And she didn't let me know, so I didn't go. I didn't call her. I didn't remind her. I just stayed home. So that was like the introverted part
Right.
of myself too. Like, oh,
Hmm.
good, no plans. All right, beep. That's the PS5 button going on.
That's so funny.
But
That's
no, but
funny.
all jokes aside, like you're gonna take them to the doggy beach. You're gonna take them to different event. Make sure you train them like right away. Like
Yeah.
I waited too long to train them. I tried to do self training because when my girl was here, I was like, "Babe, you know how to train dogs?" She's like, "Yeah." Sucked at it. So
Yep.
the
We have to
training wasn't
hire a
that good.
trainer.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have to get a trainer. Don't be like me and don't get a trainer. My dog barks at everything.
Mm.
Skateboarders, doorbell ringing, and then like it's so bad that like when Amazon delivers to my house, the doorbell ring, we have to put it in the bathroom because it's like she's so loud, and then it's like I feel bad
Yeah.
that she's disturbing the neighbors. So, try to get that part of the training out of the way, the nervousness.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be fun. A lot of toys. I used to get BarkBox. You pay $20 a month as a subscription,
Oh,
and
that's
they
all
get
it is?
yeah, it's only $20 a month. Well, at least that's how it was when I was doing it. They have so many toys right now
Okay.
because I stopped the subscription. But
Mm.
you got toys, you got little squeakers, you got little wrinkly stuff, and you get to see what they like. And make
Hmm.
sure the doggy treats for their breath. That works too.
Yes, the
Um,
dental chewies. Oh my god, game changer.
hmm
They smell like ogres if you don't.
Yeah, it's
This is
terrible
what
in the morning. Ooh. And then especially when they lick
Yeah.
their
See, this
parts.
is what I want in my life. I'm at the point in my life where I want this in my life. I want to go it's
We're
okay.
warning
I
you.
want to go. I want to see what these puppy birthday parties are like. I want to get me a little bag and put my little puppy in there and then get on the train. Like just do it. Like I have a car, so what? This is what I want to do. This is what I want to do in my life. Again, it's been my dream since 5 o'clock
hmm
this
I
afternoon.
love it.
So yes,
Oh, I
yeah.
love it.
Way back when I was
Well,
30. Way back when I turned
well.
40. So it's been my dream. So it's just like I bet our audience is like, how
I
did we
love
go from
it.
hip hop to puppies? Like, what is the connection? There is none. There is none.
Don't you know what?
No,
Don't ask
DMX,
questions,
DMX,
okay?
DMX and Snoop Dogg.
My man.
DMX and
There
Snoop
we
Dogg.
go. I
Save
There we
love
go.
it.
Where are my dogs at?
my man. That too.
Who let the dogs
There you
out?
go. Mike and Steph saved the episode, y'all. Shout out to them.
I love it. All right. Well, I have Angelina the Frenchie's first birthday party. The dogs want their pup cup, so I gotta wrap this up. And the pup cups they are doggy cupcakes. In case you're wondering,
Awesome.
that's another fun hack.
Oh yeah, those are good
But
though for them.
but
Oh, can I throw one more tip?
yeah, of course,
So
always.
if you get your dog by summertime, put fruit in the water, like berries,
Yeah,
and make sure you Google like what they're not supposed to eat, like chocolate, things
yeah.
like that. One time my dog ate gum
Citrus.
and
Can't eat
yeah,
citrus or grapes.
citrus.
Oh,
No, so just be careful with the diet.
got it.
Don't feed them table scraps. You don't
They
want them to
get
get
so
doggy
fat.
cancer.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
and they get fat as fuck, and it's not
They
good.
do, and they like.
Yeah.
That's
um,
it.
I love it. Well, guys, that was Micah. Micah, before we let you go, is there
hmm
anything that you want to plug? Anything that you want to like just quickly tell our audience to check you out on?
Yeah. Basically, if they I do motivational quotes too as well. Like I talk
Mm.
about my day, I give affirmations and things like that, especially dealing with what I went through with the passings. So if you guys want to follow me, I'm on TikTok. It's Mike MIC_LIV_0911. Those are my handles for IG and both TikTok. Also, I have music on Spotify. I have music on Apple Music. I have music on all the platforms. I have a song called Speechless, Mic Liv. You can check that out. I'm getting ready to actually shoot the video for it soon.
Nice.
Took me a while to get the video done, but I'm finally getting to that level. And I have a friend, Vez, ITS_VEZZ. That's also my partner. He has more material than I do, and he's very entertaining. He just dropped a video, and it's a dope video. So I just want everyone to check out what we're doing. And that's about it. And I definitely would like to come back on this show. I had a lot of fun.
You are more than
Hopefully you guys
invited.
can meet Vaz one day. Like this was a lot of fun. I love it, and I'm so happy and blessed to meet you guys. And that day you guys made me feel so comfortable instead of hiding in that little boom boom room in the back. It was a beautiful room, but you guys got me out that room and got me feeling good. So I really thank you guys so much. Like, you don't know how much this means to me. Like,
I appreciate it.
Don't be strangers. Don't be strangers.
No, for sure. We actually are hosting another event just like that, another podcasting cohort.
Okay. I would love to be there.
Yeah, I'll send you the details on Instagram.
Okay.
By the time this episode airs, it might have happened, so I'll send it to you. But anywho, that was Micah Livingston, right?
Yes. Yeah. Thank you so much.
So, otherwise known as Mic Liv. We loved meeting him in person. We loved having him on the show. And if you loved this episode, be sure to rate it, review it, share it with a friend. Follow us on Spotify, Apple, Amazon Music, wherever you get your podcasts. And stay tuned for next week's episode. Stay introverted. I got it.
Landing. Yeah.